Hello there, pre-calcers. We are focusing strictly on arithmetic sequences and series this week. So set up your mind to think, what am I adding or subtracting each time? Because that's the world we're living in, all right? So let's do a little review. What is an arithmetic sequence? Is what I just said. It's a sequence that is generated or a sequence that is created, a sequence of numbers that have a common difference. And the common difference is just what I'm adding or I'm subtracting by. We usually will mark it with a letter D. And just kind of to relate it back to what you already know, it's essentially our slope. It's our rate of change. As a reminder, though, it does have to be the same number. So if I'm adding 5 each time, I need to be adding 5 to every term to get to the next term. So a common misconception is like, okay, if I'm adding 1, then I'm adding 2, then I'm adding 3, then I'm adding 4. Yes, you are adding, but that would not be an arithmetic sequence because you're not adding by the same number. So pay a close attention to the word common here, because it has to be the same difference that we're adding or subtracting by. Alrighty, so we are going to delve into these arithmetic sequences today. And we are going to take a look at the formula, explicit formula for arithmetic equations. So here it is. Basically, think about this logically, folks. If my first term is 2 and I'm adding 2 each time, right? If I want to get to the third term, don't I just take my first term, which is 2, and I'm adding 2 how many times? 2. So I get 2 plus 4, which gives me 6, which is my third term. So really what I'm doing is I'm taking my first term and I'm adding on that common difference, just 1 less than the end term. So if I want the third term, I add 2 of the common differences on there. So that is the equation. This is the term you want. So this is the value at the nth term. So if you want the fourth term, a sub 4. This is obviously your first term. This is obviously your common difference. Right? And then n is the term number for the term that you want. All right? So that's that situation there. Now let's see this in action here. All right? So example 1, we're just showing that each sequence is arithmetic. Find the common difference and write out the first 4 terms. Okay? So all I'm doing is I'm plugging in 1, I'm plugging in 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. You can use your calculator if you want. This one's pretty easy. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So here are my n's up there. Here are my a sub n's down there. And obviously this is arithmetic because my common difference is a positive 1, right? I'm adding 1 each time. You can see, right? Sure you can. Alrighty, so that's how that works. Now for letter B, it's a little bit uglier here, but we're going to be okay. And maybe I shouldn't call it ugly. So here are n's. So we're just going to plug in 1. So hop on to your calculator here. So 2/3 minus 1/4, right? So I'm plugging in 1 for n. And let's try to do some math frac action to get some a nice fraction, right? So 5/12 is my first term. Now I'm just going to do that again. 2/3 minus 2/4. Math frac, that's going to be 1/6. Now, it might help in order for us to see what is going on, to write 1/6 as a 12th. So if I just multiply top and bottom by 2, 1/6 is obviously the same as 2/12, right? So it looks like my common difference, it looks like what am I subtracting here is 3/12, right? 5 minus 3 is 2, the last time I checked. So it looks like I'm subtracting 3/12, but let's kind of see what keeps happening here. Let's make sure the pattern holds true. So the next thing is 2/3 minus 3/4, and we're going to math bracket. That one's negative 1/12, which makes sense, right, guys? 2 minus 3 is negative 1/12, right? So yay, us. We got it. Let's get our last term here. 2/3 minus 4/4, which would be 2/3 minus 1. So that would be negative 1/3. And so that is my last term here. And again, if you want to see it as 12s to be able to see the pattern a little bit more clear, you can multiply top and bottom by 4 there. And you can kind of see here are my terms in my sequence. You can see them all as 12s. And it is clear I'm subtracting 3 from, 3/12 each time, right? If you just look at the numerator there, it's going down by 3/12. And if you want to reduce that as a fraction, I can divide top and bottom by 3 and get negative 1/4. Cool? Very cool. Alrighty, let's do another one here. So example 2 gives me my first term and it gives me my common difference, and it asks us to find the explicit equation, okay? So here's our equation up here. If you've forgotten, write that down in a safe place and refer back to it. So we're going to start with my first term here, which is negative 2, and I'm going to add 4 n minus 1 times to get to that term. So what is the 25th term? So pay close attention to my notation here, folks. A sub 25 means the 25th term. So I'm going to start with negative 2, which is first in line. To go from first in line to 25th in line, how many spaces do I have to go? 24, right? So I'm doing 25 minus 1, which gives me 24. Let's plop this into a calculadoria. And I get 94. So that means the 25th term in my sequence is 94. Alrighty. Let's try another one. So explicit equation is the first term. This common difference is negative, right? So we're subtracting each time and then just multiply it by n minus 1. So again, the 25th term, a sub 25, negative 6 minus 2. To go from the first term to the 25th term, that's 24 spaces, right? 25 minus 1. You can write that out if you want. I just like to jump. I like to jump. Why are you yelling at us, Miss Shenners? Oh, I don't know. So multiplying that by 24. Oh. Why did I write negative 6 when it's positive 6? Why didn't anyone correct me? Where are you guys? See, I don't even know. Just ignore everything I just did. It's 6 minus 2 times 24. Sorry, folks. I'm looking in the wrong spaces here. So this is a positive 6. I don't know why I wrote negative 6. It's a negative 2, though, and the 25th term is negative 42. All right? Sorry about that, guys. So it's positive 6. I don't know why I wrote negative 6. But that's how that would work there. So just make sure you read the problem correctly. Otherwise, you'll get the wrong answer. All right, guys. So that's the gist of the front side here. Pause, and then I'll work through the back side, and I won't make any